Will BBAI squeeze all the way upwards of the $7 to $10 levels next week, or is this a ticker which is going to be sitting around the $6 levels and potentially falling all the way down to the $4 levels? What's up, trading friends? Today we're discussing BBAI under 3 different lenses: the why, the what, the where. We're going to be talking about exactly where this ticker is heading next week. We're going to be talking about the catalyst that has been moving this ticker from $7 down to 6, from 6 to 8. Well, what's really going on, right? What's happening over here? Then we're going to be talking about exactly where to get in and where to get out. So without further ado, if this is the type of content you guys like, hit the thumbs up button. And remember, I am a perma bull on BBAI. However, this is a trading channel. So everything I say, think about it from a short-term perspective of price predictions rather than thinking that I'm saying that the stock's gonna go there and the stock's gonna stay there. All right. In fact, what we will do today, this week, if this video gets over 100 likes, I will come out with a prediction for BBAI for the end of 2026. And spoiler alert, I am extremely bullish on BBAI for the end of 2026. I think that this is a ticker which can easily be breaking into the double digits range by then. So hit the thumbs up button if you guys want that video. If this video gets over 100 likes, I'll come out with my predictions for BBAI next year. However, today's video, we're going to be talking about short-term price action. That's it, right? Now, let's get to work. So as always, the first thing we want to do in order to, predict the future, we first need to understand the past, right? And I think it's really freaking interesting that if you look back at our charts, I think BBI, one of the things I like about BBI so much is that it has gone ahead and it has respected the levels that we've drawn for it so freaking beautifully. I mean, these lines on our chart, guys, have been here for freaking months now at this point, right? And for the stock to come up a couple days ago and literally just bounce off of the $7.40 level, right, which we've drawn over here, as you guys can see, come test the 740, reject it, and then fall all the way back down to the $5.80 level, just shows the importance of having proper technical analysis, right? And let me tell you something about technical analysis. I know a lot of traders who trade with 50,000 different lines on their chart, right? Their chart looks like this, right? Now, I mean, this is just a Bollinger Band, so I guess it's just really one indicator, but they have 50 different indicators on the charts. The reason why I like to keep my charts so clean is because one of the things that I've realized about technical analysis is that less is more. Let's say you have 4 indicators on your chart. What are the odds that those 4 indicators all at once going to indicate either a buy or a sell? Almost zero. So what happens? Now you're going ahead and you don't really have a proper strategy based on the indicators that you have on your chart. So one day you're looking at these 3 and avoiding that one that says sell because you want to buy. One day you feel a little bit lazy, so you're paying attention to these 2 that say sell and don't go near the stock versus these 2 that say buy. One day all of them say, don't buy. When does that ever happen? One out of a freaking, gajillion days, right? So you got to understand that less is more, and the point of indicators is not to confuse you but rather to guide you. And the reality is, guys, that the indicators at the end of the day, they don't do that much. They don't do all of that, all right? And you got to understand that the way indicators work is that they're self-fulfilled prophecies, right? The more people use an indicator and the more people see a specific level, the more people are going to take profit at that given level, causing the stock to come up to that level, reject the level, and come back down because people want to sell at swing highs, right? So if you've pointed out swing highs, right, what happens is that if the stock approaches those swing highs, people are going to press the sell button. And when people press the sell button, what happens? Well, now we've gotten a confirmation of that level rejection, and now it's going to come back down because people are pressing sell because they're looking at that level on their chart. This is why it's so good to have simple and clean charts instead of some messy nonsense with 50 different thousand indicators and some indicator that is just you and Jimmy down the block who actually know what the fuck is going on with it, right? So you want to stick to the basics. What are the basics? Simple and easy horizontal lines, right? I always say a trader's best friend is a horizontal line. And then I keep the VWAP, I keep the RSI, also keep the MACD stuff, and also volume, right? Sometimes I use different EMAs. The EMAs, the moving averages and stuff like that do help me out sometimes depending on what charts I'm looking at. But majority of the time, I keep it nice and simple, very simple. I don't go any more above and beyond than that. Now, I'll tell you guys this. I wish I had my trading book with me. I think it's in one of my suitcases because considering I did move to London recently. But, dude, I know every single indicator. I promise you, if we go indicator for indicator, I can name every single indicator there is, right? But at the end of the day, you got to understand that, and this is what I'm saying, right? The more you learn trading, the more you understand that trading is one of those things that it's all about mastering the basics rather than going ahead and overwhelming yourself with more knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge, right? And I think that this is fundamentally different than anything else that we're used to learning in our lives. For example, let's say let's say you're learning to speak, okay? You start with your ABCs and then you start learning bigger words and bigger words and bigger words and bigger sentences and bigger words and bigger sentences and bigger words and bigger sentences and bigger words and bigger sentences, okay? Correct. Now, this is the thing. The more you learn, the better you are at speaking, okay? However, that's not the same thing in trading. If trading was the same thing as speaking, it would be as if you only had to really, really master your ABCs and a couple of words. And the more you mastered these words and the more you got used to actually practicing your ABCs and mastering these couple of words to say, then you're the best at speaking, right? But do you see the difference where people go ahead and they take the way they learn speaking and they apply it to trading, which is more. What is this indicator? Okay, let me know this indicator. Let me know this indicator. Let me know this indicator. And what usually happens is that you just kind of fall into this trap of, mental masturbation where you're just learning and consuming without it going anywhere, without it producing any results for you. Okay? Now, 5 minutes into the video, I haven't said a single word about BBAI. I'm sorry. All right. But again, at the end of the day, right, this is educational content. Okay. So let's get into it. So when it comes to BBI, why is it moving? The reality is the reason why it's moving now. So it did have pretty good earnings, right? People really like their earnings, and that's really what we got over here. We got this earning boom right after. So it went all the way upwards of this $7 levels. Then it dipped all the way back down to $6 as we predicted. Then it ripped from $6 again to $7.40, which was not a move that I anticipated. Honestly, this candle to the upside, and then the stock got crushed again a couple of days ago. So why? Why did the stock get crushed a couple of days ago? Because of the broader markets. And you gotta understand, man, right now, the mid caps, specifically in the AI, in the AI space, all they're moving based off of is just the SPY, right? The SPY and the QQQ, right? And the QQQ is really dependent on the SPY. It's really what we're looking at over here, right? Now, some people want to say that, oh, Sam, we got a double bottom over here. But let me tell you something, man. What I believe is happening right now is I don't think that the red is behind us. And I think that we could easily be seeing a correction all the way potentially down to this 600 and 630 level, right, on the SPY, which might sound crazy, but I wouldn't, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't think that it's impossible. Right? I see this SPY going somewhere to 645 to 630-ish. Now, I'll tell you this. Some of the very knowledgeable people, okay, whom I talk to on a daily basis, believe that the SPY can go down all the way down to 600, down to 500, 580-ish, 570-ish. They believe you can. Right? Now, this is the thing though, right? Is that what is the catalyst that's going to get it down here? I'm not freaking sure. But based on the catalyst that we have right now, rate cuts, inflation, blah, 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 right? I could see it easily getting down to the 650 level all the way down to 635, okay? This is the range that I see the SPY heading to. Now, if the SPY gets here, what's going to happen to BBAI is that BBAI is also going to get bodied, right? BBAI is also going to get destroyed, okay? And that's the reality of the matter. So what I always tell people is, you need to prepare for this. You need to prepare for this. And I'm not saying this to scare you guys because, I always tell you guys, right? The red that you're seeing in the markets is always temporary, right? It's temporary pain setting you up for down the line gains, right? And it goes the exact same thing if BBI is only down because of the broader markets. However, it's important to prepare for this. It's important to prepare for this. Why is it important to prepare for this, man? It's important to prepare for this. And the example I always like to give people is like, imagine you're walking down the line, okay? Not down the line. Imagine you're walking down the street and you're just walking like, you're whistling and, you got your headphones on, right? And then a crackhead walks up to you, okay? And you don't see him, okay? Because you're just in your own space, you don't see what's going on. And he comes and he sucker punches you. What do you think is gonna happen? You're probably gonna get knocked the fuck out. Okay? That's probably what's gonna happen. You're gonna get knocked out. Now, let me finish. Let me land. Okay, let me explain, right? Now, on the other hand, let's say you're walking down the same street. You still got your headphones on, fine. Okay? But you're walking, looking around, and you see the crackhead approaching you. And he's got that death stare in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know the crackheads when you can just tell, oh, here we go, right? He's got one of those looks. So what do? You clench your jaw a little bit, right? As you're walking, right? You're ready. You're on your toes. You're ready to react. If he's going to swing or something, if he's going to do some crazy shit, you're ready to move out of the way. So let's say he starts swinging. What happens? The worst case scenario is now you got punched in the face but you clench your jaw so you didn't get knocked out. The best case scenario is you slip the punch and you land your own. That would be if you are in a situation where you're saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to prepare, load up my account, so when the markets dip, I'm going to go ahead and buy some shares. That would be you slipping the punch and returning your own. The first scenario of you just clenching your jaw and getting punched in the face is, hey, I saw it coming. At least I'm not knocked out. At least I'm not in a mental situation of going, oh my God, what's happening? Oh, panic. Oh, let me sell everything, close out everything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? So that's all I'm really preparing you guys for, not just going ahead and panicking. Okay? That's all. Now, listen, that's my take when it comes to BBI. So where do I see BBI heading? The reality is that next week it's going to be an interesting week to see what happens. And, we really need to see how Bitcoin trades. I think the way Bitcoin is trading right now is it's moving a little bit sideways, right? Sideways and down, which is not good at all, right? I mean, if you look at these pricing, I mean, it's not looking good at all, right? And I think that, if Bitcoin is trading like this right now, I really like to use Bitcoin a lot as a risk indicator, whether or not the markets are risk on or risk off. So we got to see what Bitcoin looks like heading into Monday's markets. But if Bitcoin goes ahead, right, let's go on the, right, if Bitcoin goes ahead and drops down to, let's say, it gives us a wick all the way down to this 88K level, which is absolutely possible, mind you, right? This 88K level is literally for the taking when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Then we could be seeing the SPY breaking below 660. And if the SPY breaks below 660, if we can find SPY, okay, great, we can find SPY, wonderful. If the SPY breaks below 660, which is this level right over here, we're gonna be getting 650 on the SPY, okay? We're gonna be getting 650 on the SPY, which is approximately another 1.5%-ish drop from where it's sitting at right now. So what would that do to BBI? Well, BBI is going to get red, right? BBI is going to get red, and BBI is going to start going down all the way back down to this 550-ish level, right? Maybe even lower, maybe all the way down to this 460-ish level, right? Depending on what goes on, depending on the SPY. So prepare for this. Prepare for this. Understand what's going on in the markets right now. Understand that the SPY is still relatively at a very high price, and a dip is imminent, okay? Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Once again, hit the thumbs up button. If this video gets over 100 likes, I'll come out with my prediction video for BBI for 2026. Spoiler alert, it's going to be in the double digits. Now, I'll tell you guys this, okay? If you guys want to trade alongside me every day, check out our community. Right now, our community is on a 50% sale for Black Friday for the next 10 members that join. Why only the next 10 members? Because we want to reward the action takers, not the procrastinators. I'm the guy that says, Sam, I want to join, but I first need to talk to my wife so my wife can ask her husband or her boyfriend, actually, if I can join your community or not. Dude, join. What are you talking about? Just give it a shot, okay? This is what it looks like. We give it a tickers, we give it an entry, we give it an exit, we give it everything. We have day trade alerts, we have swing alerts, we have option alerts, we have lessons, we have dividend alerts, we have crypto alerts, we have question zones, Q&A zones, we have paid resources, everything. And this is what our alerts look like. It's very interesting. So we give it a ticker, we give it an entry, we give it an exit, we give it a stop loss. We also tell you how many shares to buy in your portfolio. What does that mean? So let's say you have a 100K account. We tell you the share size is always in a 10K account. So let's say you have a 100K account, you go out and you multiply this number by 10. Let's say you have a 50K account, you go out and multiply this number by 5. Let's say you have a 30K account, you multiply this number by 3. Why? Because we're disclosing the share size you need to be buying in a 10K account. So we're using the 10K account as a benchmark, okay? And, we already have over 400 members come back month after month. Back in the day, we used to do a 7-day free trial. Wilson says, hi, Sam, thank you for our work on the community. My 7 days trial finish was great. I think I can run this week. 7K in 7 days. Now we no longer do a 7-day free trial. Now we do a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee. You heard that right. 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Literally Denver mood today. It says 10:30 p.m. But again, I'm located in London right now, so I'm about 6 hours ahead of you guys. Denver Moon says, thanks Top Trader Sam and Top Trader Academy. Past the 30 days, account is up 22%. Ong says, I won't read that, but it says, I've been here for a week and y'all took care of me like we cousins. Thank you. Thanks for your patience on our private chat and helping me understand all this shit at Sam. I appreciate you. Last 5 days, his account is up approximately 3K. The big boys with the cool toy says, BroCharJS, thanks for the tip on the support. Also yesterday, Bullpick, thanks for the conversation about this when checking the graphs. You guys are awesome. 50% on this one. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful, beautiful. We've been crushing it. Chinso says, thanks, Sam. And this literally, when is this? Literally like 2 days ago. Says, thanks to Sam and the rest of the mentors. I've been here for almost 1 week, and not every single day is green, but 100% more winners than losers. I've been here for more than one. I'm pausing to read it. I can't even read anymore. I'm losing my mind. 17% past week. We're gonna do a little roulette. Say stop. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Look at this. Nice call, Sam Hims. Beautiful. Thanks, man. Got in the lower bottom Wednesday, an accident in the 18s and made me good money following you. Thanks. 69%. I always remember what you said as a beginner. I'm trying to sell games. Give it a shot, guys. Give it a shot. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Happy percent trading once again. 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Next 10 members, 50% discount. Thank you. Your boy Sam from Top Academy.